What is up, guys? It has been over 2 weeks since I've made my last video. A lot has happened. A lot needs to be discussed. Just yeah. I'm just gonna jump straight into it because why waste time? So last time I made a video, it was July 18th. I think is when I dropped my last video. So that would have been here at this point. I that video basically talked about how I made money on MicroStrategy, 1645. So that was all the way back here is my fourth sale. Since then, today is August 6th. Since then, I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So seven other positions, and that's that's good, obviously. So in that time, because I started this strategy on May 9th, I've made $182.96. Um, in that video, I actually predicted a lot of the stuff that followed. So I predicted AMD was going to hit um, my profit target, and then of course it did very shortly after. And Circle, I end up hitting again, which, if you know from my previous videos, um, that was the first stock I made money on with a 100% return, crazy return on it when it went public. So I made another 1536 on that. Robinhood, Hims and Hers held 1601, 1515. Um, Palantir Technology is one of those stocks that I thought would be more towards, I didn't think it would take so long to hit my profit target. And the interesting point that I'm going to talk about later, a lot of the bigger companies are not the ones that's performing the best for me. Interestingly, it's really a lot of the small caps that really are making are really hitting my profit targets. But I'm gonna show that later. And then we got Carvana, which is on the 31st, and then today, obviously, which was Shopify. Made 2302 on Carvana and 1907 on Shopify. So here's what's interesting. So if you look at and we're gonna look at it in a second. But if you look at my unrealized gains, right now I'm in the negative on unrealized gains. But obviously, you have to think about it. If you're constantly selling your best position, then obviously, eventually, the negative positions are going to start outweighing the positive ones. And the beginning of August has something to do with that last Friday, I believe it was, when the tariff announcement came out, and then the jobs report drama was going on. The numbers were wrong and everything. So people were saying that the market was looking for a reason to go down. A lot of stuff dropped. On Friday. And then just in general, I hear people talking a lot about how August doesn't yield the greatest returns. Basically, um, just in general, August doesn't do very well. People say. So obviously, I'm gonna show what my portfolio is doing right now. Which stocks are performing well, which ones are not performing so well. One more thing I want to touch on: money invested. I have had to invest $760 in these 11 positions in order to make the $182.96. I think that is around a 24-25% return. So on that 760 that I risked, um, I made 25% on it, which is not bad. Now, when you take into account the total capital I have to work with right now, $182 is about somewhere around like 5%. So not a crazy return based on all the capital I'm using, but you have to also think about, and I'm just explaining this because these are things that I spend time thinking about and wondering if I should change things, what should I do. But I think everything is working fine because my strategy is not aggressive. It is a conservative strategy. Eventually, I should be able to deploy all my capital into the market That's how I got to around, I think somewhere around 1900, 2000 right now. I obviously had to start from zero and then build up. But obviously, when you keep selling positions, obviously every time you get to 1500, you sell. Now you back to 1400. You get to 1550. Now you back to 1475. Whatever. As more as you keep selling, but eventually it'll build up to that. So profits are definitely gonna get bigger as I keep deploying more capital, and obviously that's not gonna show on my total profit yet because I haven't even had a chance to use all available capital that I have. But 25% return, I'm pretty happy with that. Um, a few of these positions I've gotten fortunate because, like with Carvana, pre-market, it just blew right past 15, and then that's how I ended up at 2302. I sat on it for maybe like 30 minutes or whatever. I let it run, see how I was gonna go. Then I set it on 23. Same with Shopify. Just blew past 15. I think it opened around $18 in profit for me. Went up, hovered around 18, 19, 20. I ended up selling at 19 because I'm like, hey, I mean, I'm satisfied. If I was looking for 15, I'm at 19. I'm not gonna be fighting to get an extra, $1, and then I could turn around and lose 3 or 4. It's just not worth it for me. But that's all for this. I just wanted to show what my strategy has been doing. I don't know if anybody gonna call me fake or phony. I can obviously go on Cash App and show the sales for all these, but just for the sake of editing, I'm not gonna do that in the sake of time because I have a lot of other stuff to do today. So now let's get into what my portfolio looks like right now. Okay, so today, nice day. Didn't start off wonderful. Being down, going down about $8. Not bad, but not wonderful. By the end of the day, I was up 17.24, less than a percent. So that just goes to show you the more you have invested, obviously, you don't need as much to really move the numbers. It used to be I have to, go up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% in my whole portfolio in order for me to get something like 17.24. But that's obviously not the case anymore. Now, this is how much I've invested. I have 1961 invested, and I'm at a loss of 37.69 right now. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about when you're constantly selling your best positions. Obviously, you're gonna have some. If you have any kind of big losers, that's gonna start outweighing the positives. If I still had all those gains on all of the ones I sold, then obviously I would be in the positive, right? But that's just not how it goes. So sometimes I'm gonna have to make these videos, and unrealized doesn't look impressive. That's really what I'm trying to get at. It's not gonna always look impressive, but I care about realized gains because realized gains means that the money is actually in my pocket. If I haven't sold, I haven't lost anything, and I haven't made anything. So, yeah. Figma is one that I newly added to the list. Wrong one. It is up 14% on the day. I bought it yesterday when it was down like 20%. I think it's an interesting stock. Sometimes I take a chance on like the stocks that go public or companies that go public. So it happened with Circle, and then I end up making right now I'm up in terms of realized profit $30 on that, which is technically my best performing stock, and I would have never guessed that. So sometimes you just gotta take a chance on a company, see what it does. Obviously, it's very volatile right now, which I like. Um, Averaging 37 million. I don't have a problem with that. That's nice for me. Um, but yeah, I just have to give it some more time, see how that plays out. To get into this is getting to total return because daily up and down things fluctuate. Broadcom is my best performer right now, up $8.73. I'm up 17% on this, 50 invested. Do I think it's gonna hit 15 anytime soon? I'm not sure. I think it's been a steady performer for me, but not quite one of those like slam dunk home run type of stocks. It could go up, but I'm not really sure honestly. Nvidia, another one that is just I thought it would be performing better than it has, but I think it's just because I haven't had too many buying opportunities. You see, I only have $35 invested. Just not, it just doesn't go down a lot, 2% in a day. Like that just doesn't happen that much, honestly. If you look at, well, yeah, you're talking about look at that, look at the week. You're looking at only at 1.84 loss. So the month is just performing well, just steadily. And if you see from May, this is because this is when I started using this strategy. It's been going pretty much consistently up. So there you go with that. Now let's look at a few. Let's look at my losses. Cause let's see why I'm down. How much is it? Um, $37. CoreWeave. I have 185 invested in CoreWeave. I'm down $33. Loss of 18%. Um, am I worried about this position? No, not at all. Because I've tried many other strategies where I was risking a lot more money and looking at a lot more. I was looking at way bigger losses um, daily, waiting for it to have that bounce. So now with this new strategy that I've created and worked on, when I'm looking at $185 invested, there's not enough emotional attachment to that money to make me really care about being down 18%. Now, if I was invested 1,000, 1,500, it was half of my capital or 40%. Yeah, I would be a little shook, just a little bit. But $185 invested, down $24. I mean, from average cost to current, only $24 difference. With a stock like CoreWeave that's very volatile, really big like price swings. You know, it's just a matter of time for me. It's just a matter of time. I might have to hold it for another month, maybe 2 months, maybe a few weeks. I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. Who knows? But I'm just really not worried about it. But that obviously is going to negatively impact my portfolio because it's not performing so hot for me right now. United Health is another one. Sometimes it's doing well for me. Sometimes it's not doing well. Um, right now, it's in that not doing well phase. Down $21, almost 22, down 14.5%. 150 invested in that, so I've been consistently building into this position. A lot of down days, obviously, for me to have the opportunity to buy in, but just haven't really seen the reversal that I've been looking for. But once again, it's not really. I'm looking at 150 invested. It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't really phase me, especially when I'm still making money on other stocks. I know that eventually it's going to reverse, or I'll just keep buying at better prices, and then I'll just wait. So that's that. Coinbase. I've already sold Coinbase once and made money on it. It's like the second time that I've owned it. 85 invested, so a lot of buying opportunities. Another one that just swings a lot. The price swings a lot. You can have a really bad day, have a really good day. It's not one of those ones that kind of really just sits in the kind of this area, like a Bank of America. Not doesn't really win that much. A&T only have $15 in that. It just go to show you how much it doesn't move. But for the sake of diversity, I like to own these stocks just to, it just gives me a sense of security, safety. Got Coca-Cola's, Uber Technologies, Carvana, which I just sold like last week. So that's why I only have 10 invested in that. But yeah, this is what the portfolio is doing right now. I sold Palantir. I can't remember the exact day, but I haven't had a buying opportunity for that one either because this is where I sold at here, and we'll just look at what it's been doing since then. What day was that? 22nd, first 22nd. Since the 22nd, look, it's not going down. It's just not going down. But that's fine. That's fine. I know it'll have a reversal eventually, and then I'll get some money into the market, and we'll just see what it does, right? Um, that's about it. That's about all I have. I don't want this video to go on too long. I just want to kind of fill you guys in on what has been happening. Um, I guess from a reflection standpoint, some thoughts I have been struggling with is obviously I haven't crossed the 2,000. I'm on my way to crossing it, but there's a lot of money that I have sitting on the sidelines. If you look at the bottom left, 1.6K. So sometimes you have that impulse, like, man, I want to make more. If the strategy is working, and maybe I should just scale up a little bit. But I also have to look at this one right here. I have to go down here and look and say, well, if this happens, just look at these, look at these stocks right here. If this were to happen with most of my portfolio for whatever reason, like, with all the tariff announcements and the way the market can just flip on a dime just like that. If that were to happen with 35 stocks to different degrees, but all in the same down direction, and I run out of money to invest, obviously I can just add more, but that's not really, I don't know how much I like that idea. So I I realize that I have to just stick to the plan. Um, I can't I can't get impulsive because the strategy is working. It's working. I'm seeing results. And if you start comparing yourself to other people and you start, there's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy. If you start looking at what other people are posting, oh, they're making this, they're making that, oh, $1,000 and $500 in a day, whatever, you can lose sight of your path. You can lose sight of what you're supposed to be doing, and then that can just throw you off because you're chasing something instead of just kind of, in a sense, letting it come to you. That's why I made the strategy. The strategy was not meant to be. That's why I call it the Mayweather method. Um, Very defensive. Supposed to be, in a sense, kind of impenetrable. Now, obviously, it does not work that way because things happen all the time and the market goes down and whatever. But it's supposed to do exactly what it's doing, right? You're gonna have some bad positions from here and there. You're gonna keep averaging down. You're not gonna take no big shots. You're gonna make some profit here and there. You're gonna take some profit here, take some profit there, take some profit here. And the next thing you know, you scaling up. You adding more money to your capital. You start scaling it up. You start, instead of $5 down 2%, you start investing $6, $7, $8, and over time, you build it up. And next thing you know, when you're selling for $15, you might be selling for $50 or $70, right? $75 as like a base profit. So that was the mindset when the strategy was created. But it's easy to get caught up in, I need the money now. I need it fast. I need it quick. I need to make it happen right now. I have this to pay for. I have that to pay for. You know, I need to do this for this person. I need to do that for this person. Whatever. But you can't think like that. You really just can't think like that because that's how you start getting very risky. And that's not to say it won't work out for you if you risk a lot. But obviously, when you increase risk, there's a chance it does not go your way, and then you can be sitting down thinking to yourself, man, I wish I would have just stuck with what was working. So that's really where I'm at right now in terms of mindset, just trying to trust the process, stick to the plan, and realize that this is not a you got to realize it's been 3 months since I started. I started this May 9th. It's about to be August 9th soon. So 3 months, I've made 182. I'm just now about to hit 2,000 invested. So it's not a overnight process. It's definitely a long term strategy because when I started investing, I learned through a mix of long term and short term. Like I learned some things from reading about Warren Buffett, watching a lot of Warren Buffett. the Peter Lynch's, the Charlie Mungers of the world. And then I watched some people who invested short terms, people who were, kind of swing trading. Even I learned some things from day traders a little bit. So, um, yeah, it's just one of those things where you have to, even in a strategy for me that I designed in order to be emotionless, you can still let your emotions get in the way if you're not careful. By you want the money now, you want the money quick, so now you start scaling up the strategy, and it's roughly the same, but now it's not quite the same. So that's not to say that nothing might not change in my strategy. If I feel like there's a better path to take, but right now I just realize that it's not coming from a place of actually trying to make the strategy better. It's coming from a place of trying to get quick results. So, yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you like the content, if you stay for this and you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. That helps me know that you like this type of content. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos of me, and then yeah, I appreciate y'all for being with me on this journey of mine, my investing journey, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.